Hello, my name is Picciolo, and this is a brief tutorial of the combined aphasia and apraxia of speech treatment known as CAAST. CAAST is a therapy approach designed for patients who have both aphasia and apraxia of speech. It uses elements of traditional apraxia and aphasia therapies simultaneously in order to help the patient gain better speech and language production. The main focus is on improving morphosyntactic production, increasing lexical diversity, and ultimately leading to independent generation of new or novel words not worked on in the therapy room. CAAST is a recently developed treatment. It has been around since about 2014 and has been the focus of a 2018 research study on patients who have apraxia of speech and moderate to severe Broca's aphasia. All participants in the study showed improvements in the target areas mentioned previously. Additionally, it is a highly efficient way to treat both impairments. Historically, speech-language pathologists have mostly treated both impairments in isolation, which can be a problem when time is limited. This allows the client to get therapy towards improvement of both impairments during the entire session. And finally, evidence has shown that CAAST facilitates generalization. All participants in the recent study were able to independently produce words not worked on in therapy or during the initial baseline after the treatment was complete. CAAST uses several basic steps and simple materials. Pictures are used to elicit production of words. Then the clinician prompts the patient to elaborate on the word. Another great thing about this approach is that you can find out what is important to the patient to be able to communicate and then use pictures that will help them learn to say what they want to be able to say. If family names are important, it would be a good idea to ask the patient to bring you family photos. Here is a sample of what stimulus materials look like. This was designed for a patient who mentioned that he enjoys being outside mowing the lawn. They should be simple with only one picture and one sentence frame at the bottom so that words can be written in later. Each treatment session aims to complete 10 of these. The first step is to present the picture. Then the clinician should say, "Tell me as much as you can about this picture." If the patient does not respond, provide an example. When a word is produced, move to the next step. The patient only needs to say one word to move on. Next, the clinician should repeat the word that was said and move on to the next step. For example, if the client said the word mow when looking at the picture of the man mowing the lawn, the clinician should say, "Mow, good, where should I write mow?" The clinician should point to the page and wait for the client to either point or otherwise indicate to write the word in the box. Then the next step is designed to help the patient elaborate. The clinician could say something like, "What does the man mow?" If the patient does not respond, point to the part of the picture that you're targeting and ask again. If the patient responds but produces the wrong word, ask them to try again and provide a phonemic cue on the third try. Once the patient produces a new word that elaborates on the first one, the clinician should write that word in the box as well, using the same steps as before. Next, the clinician should say the phrase and have the patient repeat. For example, if the patient had produced the word mow and then the word lawn, say, "Repeat after me, mow lawn." If the patient produces the phrase, have them repeat it 3 times. If they do not, provide further assistance by using the written words. For example, if the patient said mow lawn, underline the L in lawn and say, "Good try, but not quite correct. Let's concentrate on this sound." Once the patient produces the phrase, the clinician should take the picture away and say, "When I nod, say it again." Then wait 5 seconds before nodding. If the patient produces the phrase correctly, move on to the next picture. If not, say, "Watch me and say it with me." Then, say the phrase slowly as many times as the patient needs in order to produce the phrase correctly. At that point, you can move on to the next picture. That completes this brief tutorial on CAAST. Here's the reference for the 2018 article that I mentioned. If you're interested in using CAAST for one of your patients, this is a great article to get you started.